And we're live.
Hello!
La, la, la. Hello, all. Welcome to a very strange Wednesday evening generational change. I'm Jen.
I'm Peter, and, well, yeah, and I guess that's one way to kick it off. But, you know, every donation counts, right?
Every donation counts, but, you know, the money's always appreciated.
Now, remember that any donation that you make is actually to generational change. It's not a campaign.
Anything that
Keep that in mind.
this is generational change, guys. So, you know, yeah, if you're making a donation to us here, it goes to generational change. And we like that too. That helps us as well. So honestly, we're appreciative for you guys just being here.
Happy to have you here, Lisette. Appreciate your yeah, so this was...
so apparently, given the amount of people that are here for us to start on a random Wednesday, apparently everybody knows.
A lot of people know. So what are you doing, Jen?
I hate when we say you, because I really think this is more like almost like how contemporary partners say we're pregnant. Like, you know how like they do that? I feel
I think that's disgusting.
Well, I think it's weird, but you know, I'm going to be like contemporary. So
we're
running for Congress.
What level of sadomasochism have you decided to get yourself into?
So I'm running against Debbie Wasserman Schultz in Florida's 25th district in the Democratic primary. And yeah, there's that.
Yeah, it's
I'll just sit with that for a bit.
It's going to be a very interesting 5.5 months.
I know Ron's not over. I said that to Peter. I said Ron is still on. I don't want to pull.
We couldn't switch our stream. We didn't think.
And you know, and the thing is Colin is working both shows.
Yeah, he is. Even though he doesn't have enough to do already, you know.
Colin's the best, and seriously, like the money that we get on generational change is really enough to basically help pay Colin and another person that does some shorts for us, like a pittance. Colin is most of what he does is really because he just wants to help.
Yeah, we'll go for a little while because the assumption is that, you know, Status Quo will go for like another 15, 20 minutes. And then when that stream ends, we're
not wanting to interfere. Go back and listen to what Ron is saying.
The recommendation will be sent over to our channel. You know, what we'll do is we'll cover a few things because we're going to be going in the afternoon tomorrow. We're actually be going at 12:30 p.m. So it turns out that Grace Blakely from the UK, she wants to come on like tomorrow and talk about her book because it drops next Tuesday, I think. So she wants to come on and talk about, so the book we're going to be talking about tomorrow, we're going to get a copy of it. I hope it's a hardcover. You know, I always want the hardcover book. Vulture Capitalism, and what a time to talk about it, because while the capitalist system has failed, there is an element within the capitalist system that has accelerated its failure to such a degree, which is vulture capitalism. Which
can I say something on behalf of the vultures?
You like vultures as a creature?
I do, and you know that, and I love them. And I feel like it's really kind of, and I really don't like affiliating them with this. It makes me sad. I'm just saying, because we have two kinds of vultures here, and I really like both of them.
Thank you, Jay. And one thing we will say is that any amount of contribution that is made to the campaign is tremendously appreciated. But remember, you don't just have to do money. Money's appreciated, but there are a lot of different ways you can get involved. Sharing the message is a key component. Making sure that you sign up for phone banking and text banking. Potentially, if you have an opportunity to get to South Florida at some point over the next 5.5 months, to be able to help us with canvassing.
And quite honestly, if you're somebody that has something that you do that could be of real service to us, like are you a video person? Are you any type of thing that you do that would help a campaign, you can always help by doing what you do. I mean, and truthfully, the monthly contributions are the best. And the reason they're the best is it's like you're part of what we're doing, even though you're not here. And it's like you're part of the project. So, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If somebody wants to max out and send us $3,300, thank you. But the monthly thing is really nice. Like, I really like it. I think it builds community and it creates this sense of we're all part of this and you follow. Like, I think it's cool. So I like that idea. I love, and also, and I'm going to say this again, because I did say it on Kim Iverson this morning. I'm looking at Wyoming right now. I'm looking at you, Wyoming.
You better give money.
Let me tell you something. I got money from every single state. In 2020, I got money from every single state in the country except Wyoming. So now,
Ray J, does that mean you're going to support Jen? I mean, I understand she's on the blue team and all, and I know how bad that is, but you know,
guys, it's the only way here to do this.
Well, Ray's on the red team.
I know. But even the people that aren't on a team, and those are my favorite people. I love you, teamless people. This is how this has to be done here. It's just that simple. I live in a blue district in a closed primary state. and it will not ever happen in a general election. And quite honestly, if it's ever going to happen, like if we're ever going to be able to do this, this is now.
Yeah,
and we have until August to get this going. I mean, our primary is August 20th. And this is really, this is the most perfect storm we're ever going to have for a lot of reasons to do this. So it just is what it is.
Why don't you tell the audience who may not be familiar as to why you're doing this? One of the biggest
I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, you're talking as of recent.
Well, sometimes when you're considering doing something like this, it's a major undertaking and one that's not easy for people to really wrap their heads around because it's not easy to do, obviously. But at the same time...
No, guys, it really sucks ass. Right now, I'm having a problem because the bank that I spent hours and hours and hours in to set up an account won't let us have a debit card because they said because we're a federal campaign, but that's absurd because banks, people do that all the time. So now I have to start all over with a bank and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, so anybody who wants to, like I said, lay an in-kind contribution.
My point is nobody, like the idea that people would want to do this is so foreign to me. Like I look at it as something that I'm willing to do. When we're out and we're canvassing or we're doing service and I'm like that I like, that I'm good. It's the business side of it that is just for me the absolute worst. The absolute worst. Like I can, and I'm so bad at it. I am so bad at it. And so it's a struggle. It's a struggle. But we are up and running. We are absolutely collecting money, guys. And the QR code is better, honestly, because I am telling you that our link is not necessarily easily connecting to ActBlue right now. But we are on ActBlue. We are on Jen Perelman for Congress, and we are there. So right now, in a couple of weeks, we will have everything up and running, and we will be able to take other donations that are not ActBlue.
Make sure that you guys shoot a message over to campaign@gen2024.org for volunteering purposes.
And wherever you are, if you want to participate in this, this is for you.
Yes.
This is for you. I cannot stress this enough. This is not like I want this job. It's a service. And this is for all of us. We were joking, and it's funny is, so I was going through call time, and one of our donors last time is none other than Medea Benjamin. Mm. And we were just talking about Medea the other day because I'm the kind of person.
Medea's on fire on the Hill right now.
Love her. So like Medea knows, like if I were to get in there, we'd let her have like a little outpost in our area. We'd let her have her little Code Pink kiosk right in our little office area.
If anybody has any recommendations, I mean, again, we have our contacts that we have in the media, but we are always welcoming those that want to assist. So media@gen2024.org for podcasts or anything that you could think of that would be of value to have Jen get her message out there, people who would want to know more about this. And again, we're going to throw everything at the wall that we possibly can. If there's an opportunity for Jen potentially to get on any of the corporate media channels to get her message out, then that's what we're going to do. Jay, thank you so very much. It really means a lot. Remember, anything that you want to do to help us is going to
It really is. And I realize we're not like right now, I think like the website is gen2024.org. And it will be up and running. I think it's a little slow connecting to the ActBlue right now, but just be patient. But we are on ActBlue and we do have the QR code. So the sooner we get this up and running and I can be out there, the better than me and not being able to be out there and having to be like calling for dollars. And that's the truth. You know, guys, I'm looking at spending 35 hours a week over the next couple of weeks dialing for dollars. So the sooner that this gets up and running and I don't have to do that, is so much better. I would so much rather be planning our service stuff and getting our volunteers together and doing events and being able to like be out there. Trust me, I would rather be out there now, more and more now than I will have to be in August. So the sooner that I'm out there.
Yeah, if only if it was reverse osmosis and you got to be out there now.
Yeah. The sooner I'm able to get out now, the better. And so, whatever you guys help us, it's just really helpful.
Remember, this is not our words. This is words of people who contribute, and those who contribute are always allowed to say what they want to say because we appreciate their contribution. We do not need 100-year-old Chelsea Clinton like DWS in Congress. I will be donating to Jen Perelman. That means a lot, Willie.
Thank you, Willie.
So what I would say, and again, this is maybe not.
Wait, let me
Maybe,
say,
maybe not.
look, I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, there'd be no point in going again. If there
Okay,
wasn't a show.
but, and you guys know this, so like I run service-based campaigns, so regardless, let's say that we get to however high we get and it still doesn't cut it, I guarantee you, we spent the months and months and months serving this community. I will be out there promoting our message, speaking our platform and my mission. And that is what it is. And that campaign pushes the needle. This is why I support Dr. West. It's like, not that I wouldn't want him to win, and I really would, but like the idea is these campaigns have to be used as part of the process. These campaigns need to be used just like we use outside organizing, and we're not using them properly. So if we have a campaign that's doing that and we don't win, we haven't wasted our time. We have built coalition, we have made ourselves stronger, and we are just pushing the message. And that is good. August 20th.
August 20th is the date. We agree, so smart, but not stupid. I'm not going to call you that.
That's so horrible.
Yes, obviously Jen will be fighting for this, among other things. I think you could.
Please.
I think you
I don't even have my bullet here.
Maybe it might be best to not do that on camera.
No. I'll be good now. That's probably true. Although there's no shortage of her being able to pull clips of me smoking.
Well, what I would say is that we are friends with Ronnie Kalick. Obviously, Breakthrough News is definitely a place where we want to get on. Amy Goodman, if she's interested in having Jen on, right now we're working on getting Jen on Chris Hedges.
Okay, and first off, anybody knows Eugene that would reach, I'm a big fan. So if you have a
Eugene
connection.
did a great job basically emceeing the Gaza event in New York.
He's amazing. He's amazing. I was following, for people now I'm talking about Eugene Per Year, who works with Ronnie Kalick over at Breakthrough, and which is one of my sources. And I was following him because he used to have, he might still have, I don't know, his radio show. So I had been following him for a while. And so Eugene's amazing. So I'd love to go on with him. And not that I don't love Rania, because I do love Rania, but her I've met. So I'm just saying.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. It is obviously appreciated.
Jimmy Zim Zam.
Listen, we've got over 100 people watching on Twitter right now. So if you guys would be so inclined, if you can join us on YouTube and make sure that you hit the subscribe button, make sure that you click the bell, anything that you could do, hit the like button. All these things matter.
Now, if every one of those 165 people shared, would be good.
Yeah. I think that this really is just a race against time. I don't think Debbie's got a lot of it. I think that she's vulnerable. But
put out our new, our social media handles have changed.
All social media handles are the same now. They are Jen for Congress 2024. So if you are not currently subscribed on any of the channels, now you will have the opportunity to just look that up and go to all of them.
Right. It's probably the most convenient it's ever been for us. We've had periods where like all three social media handles are something slightly different. I did this on purpose. This was my insistence. I am so tired of having different things for everything. This is why I'm easily hacked. I know it. I cannot. I literally have to take pictures of passwords. Like I am so tired of having to remember so many different logins and codes, and I'm so tired of that. August 21st, I will be in a camper on the land where my friend has some land.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can tell you between now and then is that I don't know what's happening, but I know on August 21st, I will be in Betty Lou, my camper, on my friend's land in Georgia.
All right, so let's make sure that she can drive all the way to DC from there, that she doesn't have to stop.
Well, yes, and here's the thing. If I win, then I'm going to have to come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
God forbid you have to wait. That would suck.
And my kid still lives here, so I really wouldn't be going forever anyway. If I don't win, I still have to come back, but definitely for not as quickly. So if, for me, I'm looking at potential vacation, guys.
No, that would be sweet.
Well, it's funny because when I was on with Ron, one of the things he asked, which is a very valid question, is everybody says these things until they get elected, and then they get there and they get all co-opted. And why are you different?
It all depends on whether or not you feel that there is something to gain there that you don't currently have, that you desperately want to have. And
Max.
Well, we will obviously tomorrow. We're not going to cover it today because there's no point, because this is about Jen getting started. But tomorrow we will cover AOC and what happened at the movie theater and people coming up to her and whatnot. Look, you're either one way or you're the other way. You have to make a choice. And they don't understand that, especially right now with things being what they are, you cannot walk a line. It's not possible, because we're literally living in a genocide. You got that going on. But it's also everything that's going on here at home. You can't be there and be nice. If people
Okay.
are going to come after you, they're going to come after you, and that's just the way it is.
So since there's new people, I am running against Debbie Wasserman Schultz in a Democratic primary in Florida's 25th district. And people who do know us and follow us know that my dream world would be no parties. I am only affiliated in the capacity that I am because I live in a closed primary state in a blue district. So, and the reality is strategically, it's the only way to do this. So, and as it is, it's still an uphill battle. Like this isn't something that is, even where we're starting at now, it's still always a long shot to take out an incumbent.
Florida is not progressive, but it is populist.
Yes.
And therein lies the difference, because there's a reason why there's so much traction in Tallahassee with the book banning and the stuff that's going on. And Anna Escamani did another great job today with listen, this is even though she's not an attorney, Anna Escamani, she's the best representative we have in Tallahassee.
Escamani 26.
And so she basically said, look, if you want to ban these books, you're going to actually have to there's legal requirements in terms of like what you have to do.
Right.
It's like write 5 pages. Like, okay, fine. You really want this? Well, you're going to actually have to do work. You can't just scream and shout and pretend like everybody's bad.
So she's making them jump through the hoops.
Why not?
I love her.
Do it. don't play that crap.
Florida is interesting because you guys, for people who don't know, the same in 2020, or I'm sorry, 2016. I'm losing my mind. Right. 2016, when we elected Trump, we also put through a $15 minimum wage in that same election. So that to me says that we are a populist state, but our state legislature is definitely been hijacked by very, very right wing and even very like religious right.
That's one of the problems that people need to understand is that Florida is a state that's probably 5 different states. You have the Panhandle, you have Jacksonville, you have Central Florida. Central Florida, believe it or not, is the most conservative part of the state, and I'm talking like crazy conservative. Then you have Southwest, and you have
even more than you think the Panhandle.
Absolutely.
And when you say Central, where are you thinking?
Remember, the Panhandle is mostly libertarian.
That's true.
When you go
the Panhandle is very libertarian.
When you go into the central part of the state, that's where you have a church on every corner.
Oh, okay. I see.
Every corner.
Right.
And that's the
Panhandle is more country.
Very much so.
But live and let live.
Correct. Bo.
Yeah, Bo.
So
that's what I think of. Bo is to me, that's who I think of as like the poster child for that region of Florida.
Southwest Florida is what you call Midwest conservative. Most of the people that have money that retire
like Naples.
Southwest Florida, you have Naples, Sarasota, Fort Myers, and obviously Tampa. And so the people come down from places like Illinois, Missouri, Ohio.
But Tampa and Pinellas, like Hillsborough and Pinellas counties are fairly blue.
But what I'm saying is that that's where they end up. Well,
yeah.
Or
is Pinellas not?
Pinellas, Hillsborough was, that swung to Trump both times. So, that's not surprising. But where we are, we're in Southeast Florida, and we are basically where the Northeast goes to retire in many places. You also
Let's be real, they come here to die.
They don't really come here to live because they're not really encouraging change in any capacity.
No.
Like they come down here, they want it what it is, but the demographics are changing.
Yeah.
The district lines are not the same anymore. There are reasons for cautious optimism that this could actually be done. One of the biggest reasons that this race was even plausible is because a significant portion of the Zionist population that exists down here is no longer in the district. If that was still in the district, and I'm looking at you, Aventura, if they were still here, it wouldn't be possible. But
she would be kicking and screaming watching this if she ever saw this.
But because they're not in the district anymore, and now we have Miramar, which is a much more working class Latino and Black community.
And more importantly, canvassable.
We have a portion of Fort Lauderdale that's out of the district. Sunrise is no longer here. There are reasons to think
this would be the perfect storm. If it were to happen, it'll happen now.
It may not mean as much as that of the burn, Paula Jean, and
it means so much more to me, Mario. You're one of the OGs.
You are. You've been here for
and I will tell people, like, seriously, this about me, and anyone who knows me can attest this. I am extremely loyal. Like, extremely loyal. People that are there for me, well, I never forget people that have my back. And also, likewise, people that don't.
Karen, just make sure you volunteer. And she's a good Karen. There are good Karens.
I have a friend here that's a good Karen, and she can vote for me.
Do we have a PayPal option, as Smith wants to know?
No, we don't. I don't know that we're allowed to do that. This is one of those things where there's special rules. However, I will say this, if you weren't here in the beginning, as soon as we have, which will be maybe within the next week, we might be able to. Yeah, we'll be able to get it up and running next week. As soon as we have our full web page up, then there'll be other ways to donate that isn't ActBlue. That was very important to me from the beginning, was to make sure that we have an option for people to donate that doesn't go through ActBlue for people who don't feel the need to support the Democrats. So that was important to me, but we need a certain program set up. So I would say in a couple of weeks, we will absolutely be able to take outside of ActBlue.
We appreciate it, Felix. Obviously, any contributions are going to help us.
No, we love you guys.
Remember, every $15 donation you're making is close to, we're going to do the best we can, obviously, that's close to an hour of canvassing for a canvasser. So think of it that way, because
we could do it like, you know, they do, like you could feed a family of this, or you could do this. We should have it like you can help a canvasser. No, but we could also, you could help get this for this. We're going to need like I would still want to do I want magnets on the cars, like all of that.
What kind of district are you looking at in the academic institutions? Yes, we have Nova Southeastern University. We have Broward College. We also have a number of prep schools, some charter schools, public charter, the one in Pembroke Pines, obviously the one that they're just called Pembroke Pines Charter. So
I love you, Deter McBusiness.
Yeah.
I love you. And the fact that I think might be the only person who really understands Deter McBusiness between the two of us, I think it makes our connection extra special.
Yes, we have unions.
And we do have unions. And right now we're in a pretty decent position there, better than we were a few years ago in terms of being able to get me a screening.
Yes, Xander, she is running as a Dem.
It's the only way.
That is the only way to win. So while we are in comrade arms with our friend Jose.
I'm in Broward County, guys. We're in Broward County, Florida.
So even though we are locked arms with we call him comrade, Jose Vega, who's running for Congress against another AIPAC darling and Richie Torres, running in the Bronx as an independent might actually be sensible. Because I do think that there are
actually, it is in his demographic, and he knows his demographic, just like we know ours.
Right.
And that every campaign is different. Every district is different. The only way that this person can be unseated is in a Democratic primary. I'm not saying the only way it can be done by me, but until we don't have close primaries here, that's the way it is.
And unfortunately, this is going to be a theme that's going to come up constantly. And one of the things that we've noticed lately, which I think is a big part of what the problem is that you see every day, is that the brazen corruption is at a completely different level when you enter with somebody like Debbie, who is on par in what would be more the micro level, comparatively speaking, to somebody like Pelosi, where they just do it out in the open. They do not care who sees it. They don't care if anybody is complaining about it. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was the #1 traitor in the Democratic Party just this previous year. The #1 in the whole country. #1.
And if you guys are curious, seriously, we always promote Unusual Whales. If you're not familiar with Unusual Whales, the website, they track congressional trades. So it's really very interesting to watch and them publicly all just breaking the law because they've decided to not bring it to a floor for a vote so that it really technically, even though you shouldn't be doing it, they haven't made it illegal for themselves.
Yeah, and let's remember, and for everybody who's watching right now, we got 225 people watching.
You know what you can do for me, Michael? Promote. Spread,
share
tweets, have things go viral. The more we spread and go viral, that's when we're unbeatable.
Ray J will be going live tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. We are having a special guest from the UK come on, talk about her new book that's coming out. Grace Blakely talking about vulture capitalism. We're also going to be speaking with California ranked choice voting. What a time to have them on. If you guys want to talk about one topic today, we could talk about this when we talk about the fact that any blue will not do. And if there's one thing that we have made very clear is that when it comes to the absolute rot within the Democratic Party infrastructure, there are obviously the ones that rise above others. But Adam Schiff is at a certain level of corruption, which is not only distasteful because he's as big an AIPAC darling as Debbie is. The other thing about him, which again, we put out there on social media this morning, and it's obviously not gotten the same reach that Jen got the other day.
See, how come we put out social media, but I'm running for Congress?
Well, you're the one putting your head on the line. If anybody's taking a shot, they're going to hit you. Actually, no. Odds are they're going to miss you and hit me. So, of course,
that would be your luck. You're Charlie Brown.
I am that guy. And I'm Irish, but I'm not all Irish. So whatever else I got mixed in didn't work.
Okay, because someone on Status Quo compared me to Claire Daly, and that was like the best compliment I've ever gotten. Don't do it.
What's the matter? They don't want to compare.
Don't do it.
Have you heard of George Galloway? Tell everybody to piss off.
I love him too. But
have you heard of Mickey Dolenz doing the same?
I am a fangirl of that feisty Irish woman. I dig her. The
Irish definitely got it going on. There's no two ways about it. And they're bold. You know, I wish our country was more like Ireland. We did break away from the Brits, but the difference is that the Brits would have always been in our backyard like the Irish, and they have never stopped fighting. And when they see what's going on in Gaza right now, they were on it from day one. They didn't hesitate. They didn't care how much it pissed off the British Parliament.
No.
They didn't care how much it pissed off the United States, and they certainly didn't give a damn how much it pissed off Israel. And so as a result, you have that Irish fighting spirit that is absolutely necessary.
I'm a fan. I am a fan.
Yeah, how could you not be?
I am a fan.
There are many reasons to do this, but I would definitely say...
And the truth is, guys, seriously, AIPAC is going to come after me.
Oh, yeah.
Big. And between June and our primary, we're going to be the only primary for them to be going after.
And Jen, I think Colanello wants to know who you're running against.
Is he being serious?
Probably not.
Colanello. Okay, so I don't like to talk about Debbie. I really don't. And you guys are going to know, like, there's a difference between me on generational change as somebody who's a content creator, talking about her in the context of she is a congresswoman, she is my representative. That's fine. I do. Hey, let me finish. But campaign Jen, when I'm out talking about what we're doing and what I'm about and what I'd like to see, I don't talk about her. I really don't. I don't need to run a campaign based on her stuff. I've got enough of my own stuff. I got enough of my own glitter. I don't need to be worried about her crap. So there's two different things. And yeah, I have to kind of balance that, because when we're here talking stories and she's doing her stuff, yeah, as the person sitting in generational change, I'm going to call it out. But that is not the campaign that we're running. That is not what I talk about. That is not the issue. Like, that's just not how this works. So I don't want to talk crap about her as like somebody who I'm challenging. It's just, I am way better than that. And it's just the way it is.
And this is why we would tell you right now why Trump is going to win again, because the entire strategy against Trump at this point is basically, he's terrible, don't support him, he's going to wreck the country, et cetera, et cetera. The way you win is by presenting an argument where people look at it and say, wow, that's inspiring. I think we have a better chance. Instead, it's, oh my God, Debbie this, Debbie that. That doesn't serve anything.
And honestly, anyone who had ever been at any of the campaign events or anything I did in 20, you can go back and look. The only time that I talk about her is people want me to, because the truth is it helps with fundraising. And so we say it in terms of, it does motivate people, especially globally, because she's just so not liked. But I don't do it because the truth is I don't really have the time. There are so many other things I have to talk about besides that. So this campaign, guys, our top three are healthcare, housing, and jobs. I'm going to be really working hard promoting the idea of federal jobs guarantee. I think it's an opportunity right now, just like, you know, Bernie sort of got us all talking about Medicare for all, and we now have that planted and we're kind of going. I really think we need to start working the federal jobs guarantee. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to be mostly healthcare, housing, and jobs. But, you know, I'm where I am on all the stuff. And we have 3 years of content on our channel for people to go and look, and you can see what I'm about for the past 3 years. And the only thing I can tell you is I've gotten a little bit further to the left, maybe. Like, I'm worried I might fall off on the side. But we have so much content. There's not secrets, but when we have all of our issues up, everything will be addressed. But I really want to focus on healthcare, housing, and jobs right now. I really do. And yes, obviously we need to talk about Israel. But in terms of like how to go forward as a country and how to help the people that are here, I really think that's where we all need to be focused on. And we even threw around, like, where do we put education in the mix? Like, where is that? Very important. And I, of course, support tuition-free public college, trade schools, all of it. And all of that is something that I can walk and chew gum at the same time. But in terms of like focusing for things like marketing purposes and flyers and stuff, I'm really honing in on basically the 21st century economic bill of rights and those three components, because really until we have that in order, you need to have housing. I mean, yes, there are kids that go to school that are houseless, which is just off the wall to me that there's so many kids in public school that don't have homes. But for the most part, you need the house first. So that's where we are. Guys, feel free to let me know what you think about that. You know, like what you think, like, I mean, I sent it around to a couple people, like smart people like Harvey Kay and Steve Grumbine, and tossed around a few. And I just really landed on healthcare, housing, and jobs. But, you know, I'm willing. Oh, thank you, Ethan.
And every dollar
Thank you.
counts.
Absolutely.
And if anything, you know, remember, every dollar does count. Any contribution that can be made is appreciated.
Yeah. And truthfully, guys, like I'm somebody like, if you gave me something else to fight for, I'm good to fight for it. I support reparations. That's a big part of the thing. I've been saying it for years. I don't see how we can move forward until we pay our debts. But, you know, so like I can believe multiple things, but it's just hard to constantly be focusing on everything. So that's where we are. I will work with anybody who's on my mission. Period.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
My mission is my mission. My mission is I care for the least of these. My mission is that everybody in this country should be able to live a comfortable life working a 40-hour job. My mission is that people don't have to file bankruptcy because they can't afford health care. Okay, like all of these things are my mission is that the people that are sitting at the border aren't swimming over razor wire and being treated like animals. That's my mission. So, you know, I can debate policy. I am open to any and all ideas that will help people. So I'm not, you know, I'm very policy fluid, but very mission static.
The other thing that also has to be talked about, especially for Democrats, and this is a true blue district, it's a plus 12D. So any of the bullshit that Debbie's going to throw in terms of this district would go red if Jen were elected.
That's going to be one of her things.
She'll throw it, but of course it's bullshit and won't happen. The closest it ever came was when Ron DeSantis literally flipped the map at 20 points in his state, and Debbie still won by double digits. So it's not that won't work. But the sea of change is there, and I think that there is a level of interest.
All right, Randall, you want a 32? Fine, I'll talk about that with you. Get the Finnish people on the phone. I think everybody should get everything. This is our country. So to me, if somebody comes to me and says, I have this great idea, I'm going to be like, oh, cool, let's try that. It's so weird to me that these people can't act like adults and just do this. But we know why. We know why. We know that they're beholden to corporate interests, and even people that don't take corporate money, people like AOC, people like the Squad, that I do believe are good, well-intended people. I do. I really do. And the problem is, even if they're not beholden to those, they obviously seem to be scared of them. And so that is also a situation. And, you know, I will do thank you calls. I'll tell you what, if I get to where I can't do them, I don't know, we'll have to come up with some sort of system.
A recording of some kind.
Well, we have to come up with some sort of system, but I will tell you that I also tend to do written notes to people. Like people, if you're a patron on Generational Change, you've gotten a handwritten note from me with a little Lulu sticker. And in fact, I just recently made personal artwork for one of our people. I'm just saying.
I don't think you're going to have time to do that.
No, that I won't have time to do. But would I promote democracy? Wait. What's star voting multi-member district?
Star voting is a different, well, we'll talk about.
Definitely publicly funded elections.
So,
that's a no-brainer.
So one of the things that we're going to talk about tomorrow.
I don't know what those are, but if somebody smart explained it to me and it was something that made logical, reasonable sense, then yes, I would support that.
So what you have to know about tomorrow, we're going to have two guests tomorrow. We're going to talk about a book, Vulture Capitalism, with Grace Blakely from the UK. We're also going to be talking with two
Not
members,
Sarah Blakely. Ooh,
no,
that would be fun.
We're going to be two members of Cal Ranked Choice Voting Coalition. And what we're going to talk about with them pertains to what obviously happened the other day, which, of course, Adam Schiff and Steve Garvey. Yeah, that's Steve Garvey from the Los Angeles Dodgers.
What's with all these athletes being such assholes?
Garvey's definitely got an ego the size of California.
Jesus.
But here's the thing that many people may not have been aware of, but are going to be aware of now. So Mr. Schiff's super PAC was juicing Garvey's campaign with millions of dollars, screwing over Katie Porter and Barbara Lee in the process. And while Adam Schiff is all but assured of a U.S. Senate seat come November, there are probably a lot of vulnerable seats in the state of California now, thanks to his selfish reasoning to juice up Garvey's campaign. Why? It's been a very long time since there's been a GOP candidate in the U.S. Senate in the top 2 going into the general election. And in a year where Trump is going to have a lot more juice to his campaign than Biden will, you're putting a lot of people in down ballot races in California in very, very dangerous spots.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't give a shit.
They don't care. Not even a little bit.
But the people that are up to snuff about what's really going on and know what Schiff is all about knows that he just screwed the California Democrats in a way that I can't even put into words.
To serve himself.
And why would he do that? Well, as it turns out, what a surprise. He is beating Steve Garvey by a substantial margin, but he's not beating Katie Porter or Barbara Lee by a substantial margin. As a matter of fact, Katie Porter would be a coin flip with him if it was the general election, and he just couldn't take that chance, even if it meant protecting the down ballot seats.
How it's not just dishonorable how people fight so filthy. It's so dishonorable, but it's so it's so beta.
It is.
It's so beta. It's so, those are the people that used to get shoved in lockers.
Well, he would definitely classify as somebody who, like a lot of other people.
Not that I never shoved somebody in a locker.
But that's the difference between somebody like Jen and somebody like Adam. You see, he's the type of person who comes off as craven for power. He wants the brass ring. Adam Schiff knows he could never be president of the United States. He probably knows he couldn't even be governor of California, but he could get to the U.S. Senate. Now that's likely going to happen now.
I'm disgusted.
And so because he's going to go to the upper chamber, he can now be the Democratic equivalent of Ted Cruz. And he will sit there just as long as Ted Cruz will, because in states like California and Texas, it is almost impossible to get them out. And the amount of money, the amount of effort, you had the perfect storm.
They're legacy seats.
You had the perfect storm.
They're bequeathed.
You had everything going in your favor to get Beto into that seat over Cruz in 2018.
But he had to do.
That was after the fact. He did that after the fact.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But the fact that they came within 3 points, couldn't pull it off, he still ended up losing that race by over 250,000 votes. And that is as close as you're ever going to get. That was everything that needed to come together. And Ted Cruz is just, if not more loathsome than Adam Schiff. So it just goes to show you that at that level, it doesn't matter. They don't care about this two-party thing. They don't believe that the world is ending. They're all in this together. I keep telling you, the end of the day, the image of Pelosi and McConnell bumping elbows, that's what it's all. That's what it's really all about.
You guys, if I ever got into Congress, seriously, like if I were I am bringing you all with me so bad. It's going to be so much fun. We'll have a body cam. We'll live at large. We'll have fun. No, but it's like, I just think that it's such a theater thing. It's a theater thing, and it's not. We need to do better, people.
We do.
We need to do a lot better. But it's funny to me. I wonder, like some of these times, like sometimes when I'm watching them in Congress, and people say things, I don't know that I would be able to keep a straight face. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't know that I wouldn't start laughing in someone's face.
Let me tell you something.
And that's the problem. Like, I'm going to lose it.
Well, I've already said that if you're able to win, you'll have a specific corner of your office set up specifically for Medea Benjamin's.
Oh, the Code Pink girls can come hang out in my office.
If you guys haven't seen the video today of GOP congressman from Tennessee, Mr. Fleischman, who's actually, he's got a Jewish father and a Catholic mother, he went on a berserko rant today in support of what's going on in Gaza. We stand with Israel. We are not at this. Congressman Fleischman.
Where's he from?
Tennessee. And so
what's with the people up there?
What they put in the Tennessee is a beautiful state.
Oh my God, it is.
But whatever they're putting in that water, especially
in their political arena,
Lord,
they've got some crazy people.
That is a state that was always red, but it wasn't like.
Wasn't that the other guy, Ogle or whatever that was?
Yeah,
it's like kill them all.
Yeah, he's in Fleischman's in the 3rd district. Ogles is in the 5th district. They float around and shit.
Okay, so let's say I'm sitting somewhere with these people, and somebody makes a comment like that, and I'm near there. I just honestly can't. And there is no way that I wouldn't want all of you guys watching this too. Like, it would be so glorious. And I will tell you guys this. I will share whatever is legally allowed.
Sure.
Like, whatever would be legally allowed. And the truth is, because it should all be your place. All of you should be able to go there and watch.
It's the people's house. That's
absolutely.
what it's supposed to be.
And so I think it should, honestly, I think they should be wearing body cams, not lobbyists. Lobbyists aren't beholden to us. See, I think people want to control the lobbyists. The lobbyists aren't the problem. I had this talk with Kim today. Lobbying is actually very important, people. I went to law school to be able to lobby. We need lobbyists. It's the ultimate form of democracy, is for different types of groups of people to send their representatives for them to Congress, whether it's farmers, teachers, whatever it is. The problem isn't the lobbying. The problem is the money. And the problem is the corporate lobbying, as opposed to trades, other types of lobbying. And there are ways to regulate this. But so my point is that lobbying is very important. I actually went to law school wanting to lobby for either like the Innocence Project or something like that. And so I have a lot of passion for that. So it bothers me when people want to like say, we got to get rid of the lobbyists. The lobbyists aren't the problem. They don't work for us. Okay. They don't owe us anything. They're not beholden to us. They're doing whatever they're legally allowed to do. They are not the problem. Our representatives are the problem. And if anybody should be wearing body cams, it's them. So they are the ones who can control whether or not they take the money from lobbyists. They can actually create laws about that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's the thing. They can actually create laws that say you're not allowed to take money from corporate lobbyists. They can actually make that. So it's just, it's really frustrating, but in any event, but don't hate on the lobbyists. Okay? We need them.
So we have almost 300 people watching on Twitter. We would love for you to come over to YouTube. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell. Make sure you hit the like button. All those things matter. Cannot emphasize enough, as you can see down here. Colin, drop the clip, please.
You tell Colinello. Jen goes door to door.
The only way we're winning is if we overwhelm her on the ground.
Jen goes door to door. And do I hit every house? No. But I work the same hours. We're out there doing it, hitting doors and stuff. But
this time we might.
We might. Well, our campaign might. That doesn't mean if I were running for a state legislative district, then I could hit every door. But really, it's not. But I canvass. I am on the ground. And I will say this. I'm kind of good at it.
Make no mistake. We are running to win. This is not a vanity run. This is not an attempt to make a statement, as a number of people are out there trying to do.
No.
This is going to be an opportunity, especially right now, because this country is so down in the dumps. They have nothing to hang their hat on. The presidential election was a disaster of epic proportions. And when we talked about this, look, there was talk, but it didn't get serious until after October 7th. And when this woman, who's been the representative here for, I shit you not, over 2 decades, and basically said, kill them all, we're going to show you why in just a second. Colin, please drop that clip. It is important to understand that you can sit on the sideline and you can fight the good fight, but sometimes you just got to go for it. There's no choice, because no one else is going to do it. And when Alex pulls the stunt that she pulled the other day, take the heater, get out of the kitchen. And we support her.
Well, and we do. And here's the thing I've noticed about a lot of people. They'll put something out that's good, and then they'll take it back, right? So you had the progressives writing that okay, Mr. President, hold on. Oh, love you, determined business. So you go, Mr. President, would you maybe kindly, sir, we're still going to give you the money for Ukraine, but could you maybe kindly, sir, give us a plan or a strategy? And that was all they wanted. And then they retracted that. Okay, this is the problem. And I see people do this with campaigns all the time. If you're confident with where you stand, own it. Own it. So it's like, I'm not going to take things back. I'm not going to walk things back. And this is something that people know about me. I don't lie because I can't. I will forget everything.
I can't either.
Well, no, my thing, honestly, people know this. I'm a cannabis user, and my dad taught me many, many years ago, as he is also a cannabis user. The one thing is, you don't lie. It takes way too much mental energy to have to remember what you tell everybody and who knows what and whatever. And so if you don't lie, you don't have to waste your energy with that. And I assure you, I have none to waste. The brain cells are going by the day. And I really just want to facilitate this movement as best as I can for the remainder of my years on this planet. And hopefully, maybe my children will live somewhere that has clean drinking water.
I think we're all
That's my thought.
So when people out there, like people that we've met recently, talk about, the conservative friends that we have that say that, for example, climate change is not real. Here's what I would say. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it's not real from the perspective of the way that it's been sold to the American public and just the world at large for a very long time. You know what you can't deny is that we have microplastics in our drinking water.
No, we have it in us.
We have it in our bodies.
Babies are being born with it in their brains.
In addition, you have the oceans are warming. And how do we know they're warming? Because coral is dying.
I don't think people understand the importance of that.
So-
they think, oh, it's down there. It's under the water. What does it matter? I don't go scuba diving, so I actually do like to dive. But if somebody would think it doesn't apply to me, so the coral
That's the real thing. And especially in this state.
There's this ecosystem thing that happens where this thing relies on that thing, and it's all connected.
Have you seen blue-green algae? Have you seen red tide? I can assure you that if you think that climate change is not caused by human activity, go back to sleep. Now, you want to say that there is
it's being exacerbated, for sure.
100%. And the climate
some
is
worse than
changing.
others. Some states are worse than others in terms of how polluted they allow their state to get and how.
And the sick thing is that apparently Florida is not even that bad compared to a lot of other states.
Which is interesting. Yeah. Well, also you have to look at, is it proportionate to how much industries are in those states that are polluting industries? Because
based on those,
we do have several,
yes,
but not as many as others.
Well, the most polluted states are based on socioeconomics, and that, of course, I believe 1 and 2 respectively are West Virginia and Mississippi. So that should not come as any surprise to anybody. Because remember, they're going to do it wherever they think they can get away with it. And that is part of the problem.
The truth is they try everywhere.
For those of you who obviously want to support the campaign, remember, you can go to Jen2024.org.
And guys, if it isn't loading over to the Act Blue page right now, you can go over to Act Blue, and I'm listed on Act Blue, and we'll put the QR code. I want the QR code. Or did that go straight to Act Blue?
So
that's
make sure
what I want.
You sign up.
Yeah, because, and within the next week or two.
So this is your QR code.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to make my finger touch it. There it is. Right there. See that? Right there. Right there.
So,
that's where you want to go.
Within the next couple of weeks,
take your phone out.
We will have our full website up and running. And I have said it, and I will say it again because we have new people. You will be able to donate without Act Blue as soon as our full site is up and running. That was very, very important to me. So, love you, Teresa. So that will be available as soon as our full website is up and running. We're working on it right now. But obviously, the more money that comes in, the faster we get stuff done, the more I can be doing. So it's really, it's a project, guys. It's a project.
Make sure you get over there, guys. Use that. You got your phone. Make sure you use that QR code. Yeah, that's what you do. That's how it works. It's backwards. Got to do that. So if you guys really want to know what was
we're going to bring you on the campaign trail with us too, by the way.
Yeah, you guys are going to have, we're going to have film. It's going to be great.
Not just that, but
it's going to be really great. It's going to be the greatest.
It's going to be really cool. So basically, we're going to use our podcast, our platform. We're still going to have our shows. We're going to try to be as consistent as we can. All right. It's going to be hard because different events and different things, but we are also going to make sure to have the sort of on the campaign trail element that you can guys come and see all the ridiculous nonsense and bullshit that this is. It is really, sometimes your mind's go, and I'll let you in on all of it.
So
nitty gritty.
So there are many reasons as to why this is being done, but if there was a straw that broke the camel's back, it was this moment that came a few months ago.
Vote that's going to happen on the Israel-Hamas resolution on the floor. Are you concerned that some Democrats may not support this?
I would hope that all members would support a resolution that condemns terrorism, the brutal attacks that were perpetrated against the Israeli people that were killed. We have 218 hostages. They took 222. Someone who votes against this, I would think, doesn't have a soul.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, doesn't have a soul.
Well, but here's the thing. If anybody is an authority on the soulless, I think that it might be her.
So she spearheaded a resolution into a bill that said that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism.
And they signed it.
I don't think you can even wrap your heads around how significantly bad this is.
Ridiculous.
Not just for the people in Gaza, but for Jews as a whole.
Oh, it's so bad.
This is ramping up anti-Semitism to a level that hasn't been seen since World War II.
What that basically sounds like to me is they are legally binding Jews to Israel. They're legally binding Judaism to Zionism. Like they're making that be like it's a thing now, when in fact it's not a thing. That's not how it works. I keep saying this. That could be me saying things, so 2 + 2 is 5. And if they don't get in line with that, They don't have a soul. That is how ridiculous that sounds when you know what that bill is, what that resolution is. Okay, I am so tired of this. Zionism and Judaism are two different things. Now, for the most part, I believe that the majority of people that are on this stream know that by now. Because if you're on this stream, you're watching one of the people that we are affiliated with that have covered this in the same manner in which we've covered it. So you've probably heard it. But this conflation of Judaism and Zionism is a real problem. And it's only going to make things infinitely worse.
And she is the poster child for this. She really is. And she's been at this for a long time. She has been AIPAC's darling for a long time. She has locked arms with the GOP tighter than people can possibly understand. And she's been able to...
Never met a war she didn't support. Never met a military budget she wouldn't raise.
Never took a corporate dollar that would ever be rejected.
Right, like every corporate dollar. And, I don't understand how anyone who takes money from places like Raytheon or Northrop Grumman and that stuff can stand there and act like there's no disgusting conflict of interest in everything that they do. It's so weird to me, people. I cannot, it's so hard for me to even understand how that happens. See, and with me, it's easy because I have no stock. I have no stocks in anything.
When this comes on, when it did come on, and all I could think is somebody's got to stop her. And she has basically conducted business over the past several years as if to suggest that I'm untouchable. I could do whatever I want.
And that might be true.
Maybe it is.
It might be. I mean, that's the truth. Is it's still look, it's a long shot. It's always a long shot.
100%.
But it doesn't mean it's not possible. And if the stars align and we get the support we really need, and the truth of the matter is, even sitting here and the fact that there's 386 people watching this on the day that we're launching a campaign, when the last time we did this, and Jordan Sheraton was the first person to have me on as a candidate. And we still were able to do what we did. And now we're starting here. So that's very promising to me.
Josh.
And really, more than anything, guys, seriously, anything that you can donate to the campaign, yeah, that's great. And I appreciate it. But for example, if you guys want to come down here and canvass with us, you have an open invitation to come down here and canvass with us. And in fact, if we can raise the right amount of money, I'll even have people housed to come down and canvass with us.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing which would be totally fun. Have a whole party. Now, I won't stay in said canvassing volunteer flop house, as we refer to it, but it can be available. I'm just saying, because it's usually kids. It's all the young people that come and do that. And it's totally fun. But seriously, if anybody wants to help in any way, if you know someone that does a certain kind of work, like video work, I'm always saying that because we're always looking for people to help with in-kind stuff. Anything is helpful. Promoting is helpful. Sharing is helpful. All of that. Spread the word. If you know a content creator that would have me on, or you know somebody that would be good for me to talk to, you can email us. What's the media at? Is it media at?
So if you want to assist in anything media related, or you have suggestions.
We don't have a catch-all yet. What do we have now for the?
Well, we've got
Okay.
media@gen2024.org.
And it doesn't have to just be podcast guys. If you know someone who has a Substack, if you know somebody that writes for whatever, and they would be willing to interview me or talk to me or write about what we're doing, anything is helpful. Truthfully,
Great.
You have a friend that's a documentary filmmaker and would put something together just on their own. Amazing. Anything helps.
If you want to get involved in any capacity, whether volunteering, please email the campaign manager, campaign@gen2024.org. And no, it's not me. So
It's not Peter, guys.
Yeah.
We actually have people.
No,
we have a team. I'm excited.
I do.
I just like saying we have people.
We got people. We got people.
We have people.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's just a big difference. So the point is, we're
And
starting
Teresa,
off at a very different.
If that's the best role you can play, then that's the role you
Absolutely.
can
Oh
play.
my God. And let me tell you guys, I am not kidding. AIPAC is going to move heaven and earth to keep me out of there, without a doubt. So there is going to be a lot of stuff being thrown around out there in the social media verse.
But the big difference.
So people that come onto those things and have my back and put out the positive things and share the tweets and share the videos, that's how we win. Because that's the kind of thing that you cannot buy. Like when we're out canvassing, it's people that believe in what we're doing. Now she'll pay canvassers to go out. She'll have a handful of volunteers, her sycophants, whatever, but she'll have paid people to go out and do it. Nothing compares between a paid person. And by the way, we will pay canvassers as well, but it's different when they're people that we bring on that care about what we're doing. We pay our people, whereas she just hires somebody to come in and do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a very different vibe, and you cannot compete with what we have in that capacity. She'll never have this.
I don't think too many people do, and I don't know how many people actually use it the way that they should. That's also part of the problem.
That's all I can do with it. What else am I supposed to do with it? I'm not going to like just sit here every day and hang out and talk to people. Talk to you people.
You people.
You people.
You people.
You people. And
I
I say it all the time. I say you people regarding any group of people I'm talking to in that moment is you people.
Remember, it's QR code right there. I'm sure you want to use that.
We do appreciate it, guys.
Those of you who don't know, our regular live stream, Generational Change, is on Mondays and Thursdays at either 1 p.m. or 9 p.m. I'm pretty sure we're going to stick to that as best we can.
Yeah, we're going to try. I honestly, if we can at least say that we're going to try to at least be twice a week, I'd be happy with that, because we have too many regular events. Like, it's going to be really hard, guys, to be consistent. And that's okay, because like I've said, this was always started as an educational, informational podcast. The live thing is just something we do because it's easy. It's fun in terms of we're not taping, recording, all that. It's just out there. So it's kind of nice. But anybody goes back and looks at it, it still counts.
And you also
I don't need people on live. Yeah. I mean, I love you guys coming on, don't get me wrong, but it's also important that people watch after.
And remember, this campaign is about service. It is about making sure that we can transform our political arena into something more favorable. Josh Krulik wants you to know that he would love to help in whatever capacity he can. And I'm sure there will be a lot of people that will do the same, which is great.
I'm in this for everybody, seriously. Yeah. And any one of these people, starting with him, can tell you, this is not something that this is not like my dream. I'm, thank you, big dumb animal. And you know what? I am a fan of yours too, because you are also one of our OGs. Yeah, I mean, look, it's like a Hail Mary situation. It's sort of like all of us against that. But yeah, this is not like I want that job. I feel the need for that job. I do tell you this, though, what would be really friggin' cool is you get like a staff of 8 people. So it's like, you get a job and you get a job and you get a job. And that would be friggin' amazing.
I just want to be able to help the circumstance.
Right. No, that's true. But we have been working for free, doing what we do for like 5 years. And like Nina says, just because you're progressive doesn't mean you have a vow of poverty. So I don't mind making some money doing what I'm doing. I don't. Like, I'm not averse to that. You know, I'm okay with making some money. But I don't, for me, it really needs to be worth the aggravation and the trade-off, because the only thing that really matters to me more than anything is peace in my mind. The mental peace. No, mental peace. Yeah. So my goal as I get older, and I'm not that young anymore, is mental peace. So I'm going to do whatever I can to facilitate that for myself. Now, for me, that's me in my camper somewhere in the mountains, maybe up in Voyageurs National Park. I don't know. Like, that's what I want out of life. So for me to do this, it's really because I think it's important. And I think that we really need to do something. And if this is a way for me to contribute, because for whatever reason, the stars collide and it works and I'm the right person at the right time, then yay us. That's it. That's all it is. And I would go there and I would be there and do the best job I can for as long as people want me to. And then I would go. Well,
not until you die. I mean, you're not that person.
Well, you know, I'm not,
you're not planning on living that long anyway.
I'm not living that long anyway. But so for me, it's a matter of you go, you do that. And as soon as there's somebody who really wants that, who would also be good at it, you pass the baton and you move on. And I get in my camper and I drive around Lake Michigan. So this is not like a life goal. It's part of my mission.
What about Lake Winnipesaukee?
I would go there. I know where that is.
I've been there.
It's in New Hampshire for people who don't know. So, I do know that.
And that's where What About Bob? You know?
No, I didn't know that.
That's why I was right.
But no, I've circumnavigated Lake Ontario.
Baby steps.
I circumnavigated Lake Ontario a few summers ago while my son was in a program in Buffalo, and I would have had to come home and go back, and it didn't make sense. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So I drove around Lake Ontario. I can attest it looks the same all the way around.
Why don't you purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka? I'm just saying.
I don't know what that's from.
Why don't you purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
I don't know what that is from.
It's Prince.
Oh.
Lake Minnetonka is where Prince is from.
Oh, that's no.
And
Anyway,
yes,
so
I
I
would say
do want
that
to.
would definitely be the ultimate endorsement.
I think I might
You would
pee
keel
myself.
over and
I think
die.
I would pee myself. I might. Especially if he did it like in person, like if he were here, I think I might. You know what? I'm glad. The joy, honestly, if everybody would make it so I didn't have to do phone time, the whole thing would be joyous. Like, quite honestly, like for the most part, it's really kind of fun. Like, because we're out and we're doing service. Last time we planted 2 community gardens. We did cleanups. We worked the veterans nursing home. We did food distributions. And that's like, it was fun. I do like a good community garden. And it does kind of suck for us that it is in Florida in the summer. It does.
That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess you're giving us viewing hours actually paid off.
It absolutely does. But no, all of it helps. But what we've done over the past few years with this platform is all part of it. I kind of view myself as like a web spinner. And I'm always wanting to make links in the web. So every time that I bring on an author, an expert, an activist, whoever, right? And that's a connection now. And then I connect other people to other people. And every time one of those links is connected, we end up at the end with a whole solid sheet, right?
Remember, Nashaba, it's not a lie if you believe it.
And the truth is, you could, you quote Jay Pilchick. That's my dad. Yeah, that's what it was. This is what happens when you're raised by hippies that from the 60s and 70s. Like, this is what happens.
Which link is not working? You have to let us know.
I know. It's because Gen 2024 org is not going over
the
to
website is
ActBlue.
not okay. Well, the site's not live yet, so
no, but
not
it's supposed. I know it's supposed to link over to ActBlue. You got to just go on to ActBlue. The best way for you guys to go is on ActBlue and just look up my campaign. It truthfully is. And I know that it's an extra step right now. And within the next couple of weeks, I assure everyone this will be incredibly user-friendly. But anybody who joins, I'm so used to podcasts. Anybody who contributes like monthly, you people are my favorite people, truthfully, because we had a handful of like max donors that would write a check. Like, we had a handful of them, very few, but it really feels like a movement. And I'm looking at you, Wyoming, but like, it really feels like a movement when it's everybody. And that is that matters the most to me, especially as I'm losing friends over Israel left and right. I got to tell you.
Interesting. All right. So no www. Just make sure you go to Jen 2024.
Okay. All right.
That's important.
All right. But yeah, we are active on ActBlue, so
we will do that. That is a good idea.
Yes.
We will do that.
But yeah, I mean, this. I know everyone says it's not about me. It really is not about me. I spend so much time like learning and researching and trying to figure out how to teach people. Like it's funny because it's like that's where it's at. People don't just buy what you're selling. You need to explain things to them, and you need to explain things to people in a way that they understand. Who is that?
Probably somebody you know, but that's like
I know it. I'll do my call time, but I'm just saying to everybody
Jen,
out there.
Hi, my name's Jen. I am a dialing for dollars lady. And
honestly, guys, I hate asking for money so much. It is one of the most painful things ever for me. And the truth is, even for myself, in a way, even for myself, the last time when I was practicing at a big firm, I hands down was the lowest paid attorney there because I didn't even bother to negotiate.
Don't be hating on Wyoming. Wyoming's a good state.
Is that what it is? They have internet in Wyoming.
He's breaking balls.
I think it's the Cheneys.
We're going to break your balls.
I think it's the Cheneys. So guys, truthfully, I know you got to do the call time, but it's like asking people for money is so brutal. It's so brutal. So my hope is that I do it, and then we get this big influx of money that just organically comes from all of you. And it lets me go out there and do things out there instead of sit on a phone and dial for dollars. And by the way, that's something that people in Congress do. That's not something I'm ever doing in Congress. There is not a friggin' chance.
I don't think you'll have to do it once.
There is not a friggin'. hear me now, quote me later. There is not a chance
Got a lot of people
that if I were sitting in Congress, that I am spending my time calling people for money. Not even
remember,
happening. If you can't win otherwise, then you don't deserve to be
before
there.
we go, just remember, there are people that really want Jen to get to Congress.
Uh-oh,
And that
who
is
are we
very
having?
important.
I'm not happy.
Oh,
Ugh,
I
gross.
just want to come on here and let everybody know. Hey, listen, that guy, can you put up that QR code again? Because we need more people to be giving money to the campaign.
Are you going to send me some money?
Well, listen, our foundation, it's kind of tied up in legal eagles right now. I don't think it'd be the best idea.
Maybe you ought not be money laundering.
You can talk to Hillary. That's her fault. That ain't me.
No, you're just on the island with Epstein.
I'm where I belong, and that is on a nice beach with a nice pina colada and lots of pretty. Lots of volunteers trying to make the world a better place.
Yeah,
that's all we're doing.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
That's what we're doing. So I just want to come on here and let everybody know that you got to support this lovely lady Jen Perelman for Congress because. I got to have an excuse to visit the nation's capital every once in a while.
You and your wife should be in prison.
That's never going to happen. I keep telling you that. And even if you get to Congress, you're still going to be sitting all by yourself.
Oh, I know.
Table.
Nobody's going to want to play with me, guys. That's why I'm going to have to bring you all with me.
No, but I still listen. I only want her there because I like to look at her. It's not because I give a damn about her politics.
Gross.
Her politics are completely juxtaposed to what I support. And I'm a scholar, so
regular people. Commoners,
listen,
the common folk.
If you knew what it was like growing up in the hillbilly, that's play on words, country bumpkin that I was back in Arkansas way back when, if you knew what it was like growing up in that environment, Jen, you would do everything in your power to never have to deal with that.
Okay, first of all, I come from working people, not poverty, but very working people.
Well, that doesn't count.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't count.
Yeah, it does. You know what? No, you and your wife should be in prison.
I suffered. I deserved all that money. I earned it. I made my way to the White House by hook or crook. And I'm not saying which one I did more of, but let's just assume that it wasn't exactly on the, above board. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is that we got there. And I held it for 2 terms. Thank you, Ross Perot. And right now, I think that, probably Trump's going to be thanking RFK when it's all said and done. Or maybe it's Biden. I don't know. How do you think it's going to go?
I don't know. You're the one who hangs out with them on Jeffrey Epstein's island.
I think you should stop talking about that. You might get yourself in trouble.
Why? I'm not the one who's been there. What would I get in trouble for? My name's not on the manifest.
Are you sure? Because
I'm quite sure. So
we can make things appear.
You can make that appear.
Disappear.
Yeah, I know things get made disappeared. I am very familiar with things getting
there's
disappeared.
There's at least somebody here who understands my pain.
There is a good point, Chris.
There's a lot of pain.
Touche.
There's a lot of pain. So just remember,
who I'm running against.
The lady that cost my wife the presidency. I don't think that was really.
I thought she was friends with you.
She was friends, but then she kind of messed up real bad. And
she gets kicked out of the DNC, and then your wife hires her.
I didn't tell her to do that. That was definitely not my decision. I certainly said that this Wasserman Schultz lady, she's definitely toxic for the Clinton brand. And for whatever reason, I give my wife credit for having some loyalty. Clearly, she did a job and she got it done. And, just assuming that everything was going to go okay. But, unfortunately, the country got turned over to Trump, and we all know how that worked out. And, he just wishes he could get the kind of ladies that I can. Or is it the other way around? I'm not really sure. But
you're both gross.
Just make sure that you do what you got to do. Get over it.
You're both gross. You could throw Handsy Joe in there too. Handsy Joe.
Remember to get over to jen2024.org. Support the campaign. She needs the help, and I need somebody to visit in the nation's capital again.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get through Medea. I'm gonna have Medea in the vestibule. You're gonna have to get through the Code Pink ladies.
I'm never gonna have to answer for those questions.
Well, let me tell you something. Those ladies are feisty.
Well, good to see you. Bye.
It is so gross when you're like that. Like he's very method. It's creepy.
What's happening is that I can do his impression, and that's it's fun. You got to stop talking about that.
I know you think that's a thing. It isn't.
All right. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong. I think that if anything is going to be it's going to be the Zionist thing that's going to get me in trouble. Yeah. But yeah, guys, AIPAC is going to come at me hard.
That's a funny question, Pariah. I don't think you've ever been here before, but if this is your first time here,
no.
I think
we don't take any corporate money. We seriously, Colin, who is the producer here, you guys know from Status Quo, who donates so much of his time to Peter's and my nonsense and our ridiculousness for such a pittance. And so everything that comes in like through generational change, like goes right out to him and the other gentleman who does some shorts for us. But like that account has never had more than $800 in it at any one time, ever in 3 years. And it usually hovers around 400, and I'm holding my breath hoping that I'll be able to pay these people next month. So no, we don't take corporate money. I wouldn't take corporate money, but here's what's more interesting. They would never offer it to me. They wouldn't approach me. They wouldn't offer it to me. They wouldn't, to what end? Because even if I took their money, let's say I took their money.
They may try to buy you off, but once they realize they can't, it's like, all right, they'll take a chance. They might say, we'll give you $1 million, we'll give you something, just don't run anymore.
Yeah, no. So people honestly need to understand, I can't, it's not, I don't care. They could try that, but it would be fun. So I honestly don't think corporate people would want to donate to me. Just like somebody on Status Quo said, will you take AIPAC money? I said, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be offering it.
I only did one impression. If you want one more, I need a donation. We need a donation. We need a campaign donation.
Campaign donation.
Somebody donate if you want to.
No, because we can't really monitor it. But guys, I know that all of you guys are really going to be supportive. I do. I feel it. And that's really what helps. It helps a lot. I do get hate locally. There's a lot of people that are just Team Debbie, that look at me like, you're running for Debbie's seat. In fact, we had a woman literally say that to me. I told her I was running for Congress, this older woman. She's like, oh my God, that's so great. Like I was talking to her. She thought I was nice. She's like, that's so great. And she goes, what seat? And I'm like, 23. And she goes, that's Debbie's seat. And it was like, so she was all for me running based on our conversation until it was Debbie's seat.
Mario, if you're going to donate, you go right to that QR code right there.
Yes, we don't need your
That's the one thing there it is. That is the one thing I know I can't fuck up. That's the one thing I know that I can't fuck up.
But so, you guys, honestly, this is going to be a massive endeavor. We purposefully did it this way with 5 months to go. This is something that has been thought of over a few years, like, and how we would do it and what we needed to do. And I can tell you this, like, I can't say we're going to win. I can't say that, but I can tell you that we have been busting ass and leaving no stone unturned in being able to put a strategy together and really do it the way that we think it needs to be done in order for it to work. So I can't say we're definitely going to win, but I can tell you we're busting ass and doing everything right. We're not dealing with DC consultants. We're not doing anything ridiculous. We're not bringing on people that ought not be on someone's campaign because they're sabotaging it. So we're not in with that. And so I can just assure you with your money, we'll be helping us serve the community and push the mission.
Can I say something?
You can, but I'm not happy with you.
Well, I just want to come on here. I want to make it very clear to anybody out there in Twitter land and YouTube and any of the other social channels. I have no idea how to operate. Yes, I will say it. If you have to hear it, it's been a long time. I didn't want to have to think about it ever again. But Debbie Wasserman Schultz should be defeated from Congress. She has no business being there.
But yet you don't endorse me. I don't see you endorsing me.
Jen, if you call me, I'll think about it. I'll sleep on it.
Please.
I'll talk to Jane.
We've tried reaching out, Bernie. We have mutual friends, Bernie. We've tried reaching out.
I think getting your support would definitely be a good thing. I think Debbie needs to go. That's what I said. I think Debbie needs to go. I think there's not a lot of inspiration out there. But you have to understand that if you do...
I'll address that in a second extra large step.
Yeah,
okay.
But how do we get you to, get to Congress, and then we need you to help my good friend Joe make sure that he wins in November?
I'm not helping your friend Joe.
Oh, but he's really a decent guy once you get to know
They're
him.
irredeemable. I'm not helping your friend
He's decent.
Joe. I am not a
Listen,
chauffeur
I am
party.
too old to run.
Well, then I guess you should have thought of that when you didn't help the right people and you didn't do it as an independent when you had an opportunity.
Jen, Trump is going to win again, and they're going to blame me again.
Well, that's between you and you.
But
I don't support Trump. I'm not with Trump, and I am not with Genocide Joe.
I was just trying to create a political revolution for the betterment of this country. And unfortunately, we're sitting in a very bad spot.
The problem is all of the people that followed you down here are now like wandering like nomads in the proverbial desert, and they have nothing. Like once your campaign ended, it's like the whole movement died here.
Well, but the movement is what it is. I'm not here to try to tell you that you're wrong. I think you're going to do a good job. I think you've got
a puncher's chance. You know?
So here's the thing, extra large step. Other than if you knowing me personally, there really is no way that I can guarantee that. But I have I'm a little bit older than the average bear, okay? I'm not a 26, 27, 28-year-old person.
You're not as old as me.
No, that's true. Getting into Congress and thinking that this could be a real good, secure job path, and I really want to aspire to this. Okay, I'm not that person. I also don't need the money. Okay, so I don't need the job and I don't aspire for a career. I'm pushing 53. I don't need the career.
You don't look a day over 51.
Thank you, Bernie. And so I can't, other than telling you that, I don't know. I don't want to be there any longer than I would have to be. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Until one woman asked for direction. Exactly. So like, I can't give assurances other than just tell you. I also, what I could suggest though, is I have 3 years of content on our podcast where I'm not a candidate and I'm interviewing people and you can see who I am. I have over 3 years of podcast content. And
Are you saying you weren't a bartender? Is that what you're saying? You were not a bartender?
No.
What did you do?
I was a Hooters waitress in college.
Was there anything unique about being a Hooters waitress?
No, and the reason, honestly, it was because in Colorado I was able to serve beer and wine at 19 because I wasn't 21, and that was the only way.
You caught drinking on the job? Is that what you did? Is that how you got in trouble?
I don't drink beer. I've never had a beer.
Oh, well, that's too bad. You're missing out.
I know. I've never had a beer, and I've never had coffee.
No, you're really missing out.
I know.
I want to make sure.
This is just me high on life, people.
But just make sure you get over to that QR code. Make sure you support the campaign, support Jen, so that way I have somebody who's going to fight with me on the Hill. Lord knows I would like to work with you.
Excel step, honestly, I wish I could give people like references. I really do. Like, I wish I had like a list of references, like call this person, they'll tell you. I am the person that is going to be the most efficient utilitarian person that there is. My mission is to do what I got to do. I'm not there to make friends. I'm not there to play games. It's just, I feel like when my kids were little and the kids would be fighting and somebody has to be like the grown-up in the room. So I honestly, I don't know if I can assure somebody that I'm not into the life other than I am not into the life. I'm not into the life here. So why would I be into it there? Even in the political arena here, I don't do that. Occasionally show up at events when I want to support a particular person that I like, but I don't play in their sandbox here, so I don't expect to want to play in it there. What I do here is affiliate with communities, people that are, as my friend Mo says, the streets, and do as much as I can to help those neighborhoods. Everything we've done, pancake breakfast to community garden to whatever. So I'm somebody that's actually out and around and doing things.
Well, that's really,
so that's all I can say. I mean, like, I don't know how to say it.
Listen, it's almost bedtime. I had my early bird for dinner. It's time for me to go. But I wanted to come on here and just wish you lots of luck. I think you'll do good. I think you might do great. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll get a chance to work with you before I retire.
Wouldn't that be nice? And we are working on our campaign video. That will be up and running in a couple of weeks. We'll get a nice video up. It's sort of like, you guys know, it takes money to make money. So we're starting small and building. And I have a feeling we'll build pretty quickly because I think people are really hungry for well, I'm actually literally hungry, but I think like people are hungry for.
I'm hungry too, but
you're
I'm
always hungry.
That's
You're
not true.
always
I'm
hungry.
hungry often.
Do you have an event?
No.
You think?
Not at
Okay.
the moment.
I'll buy you dinner.
Oh, that's great.
I know. So yes, it is. Am I going to do on? Yeah. We were just saying that before. So I never know who jumps on when, but we're going to do our best to be as consistent as possible with generational change. I'm not swearing to times because I know how this goes. That if I have an event on a Thursday and then another event Thursday night, I'm not going to say I can do a Thursday show. So it is what it is. But we are going to do our best to get out content twice a week, and we are also going to add an on the campaign trail element. So my goal is basically to bring you. I might even do it in selfie form. I might even have Ben help set up a thing where I can maybe do it as a selfie, almost like, and bring people with me to different things, like some sort of thing to bring you guys in the campaign. Huey Long, nice. Those are my peeps.
So this is something that is definitely going to happen. It's not even a
Absolutely.
question of if, it's a question of when. So what you have to remember is that the best possible circumstance that Jen could be sitting in is that the House vote is very close. That it's only off by maybe a few votes. Imagine if it's off by one vote. Then she gets to make the decision.
Well, and the thing is this, I said this and I'll keep saying it. Someone like me getting into that isn't going to get in there and get healthcare for everybody. Like, that's not how this is going to work. It might not get any policy. You know what I'm saying? Because I will not be sitting at their table. That's true. But we will get rid of one of the most corporate, corrupt career people that has been sitting there and is now telling us that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. And I don't want her representing Jewish people. It's embarrassing, quite honestly. And really, my thought about being effective is this, and I've said this, like the thought about being effective is this: I will use the next 5 months having a national platform to put out this message, which is my mission, which is what I'm fighting for, which is all of our issues and the stuff that we care about in our lefter circles. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing, and that's what I would be doing there. Somebody today said that I could be like Claire Daly, and I almost like I got very, very like verklempt.
I think Claire Daly would appreciate you.
I would get very verklempt, but like
I wonder if we could get Claire Daly on the show.
I can't say that I'm going to get stuff through, but I will tell you this.
We're going to fight like hell.
I will tell you this: my ability to get along with absolutely everybody. He'll tell you, I could go to any neighborhood with any political people and get along, and they will like me. And I'm just being me because I don't care about their tribal crap. I'm fine with that. But I'm not going to play those games. That's true. But because of that, I will align with and work with anybody in that position that wants to do what I'm doing. I don't care what party they're in. I don't care what state they're from. If somebody is putting forward legislation to help people, then I'm going to work with those people. And it doesn't have to be the same people on everything. Maybe there's somebody that you agree with on this, but you don't agree with on that. Maybe if we just didn't stay with our tribalist crap, that we might be able to get a few things done. So even though, yes, I am running as a Democrat, I am closer to them than to the Republicans in theory. And going back to the day that I registered to vote, which was in like what, 1989.
I'm just making a suggestion. I'm kidding. That's a joke. Yeah, I'm dead after the show's over anyway. So
and I just offered to take you to dinner. But my point is, like, at the time when I registered to be a Democrat, the thought in my head was always, and I come from working people. So the thought that we're Democrats, the thought in my head was that's the working people's party, right? And then the owners and the managers were in the Republicans. And so when I say that I'm closer to a Democrat than a Republican, I mean based on in that theory. Be very clear. Right now, to me, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's just a complete shit show. So to me, anyone who is being reasonable, who wants to work on policies to help people, is somebody that I will work with. I am also very policy fluid. I am mission static.
500.
It's amazing for us. So what it really is this: my goal is to create a safety net, and I care for the least of these. That's it. That's it. It's how we treat people. It's an economic, 21st century economic Bill of Rights. And that is what I believe. Now, I'm not going to say I have one particular policy about housing. I am not by nature like necessarily a policy wonk, but I can read. And once policy is there, I'm very good at looking at it and researching it and figuring it out. And also, I think having office hours with people in your district to know what they think about it.
That's very important.
Well, I think Congress people should be required to have office hours.
For those of you who need to check the receipts, just go back to the end of, was it 2022? Yeah, go back to the end of, when was forced to vote? Was that 2020? Okay, so
no, it couldn't have been 2020, right?
Or was it 2021? Anyway, whenever Force the Vote took place, you can go back and look at the dates, and you will see that we absolutely supported Force the Vote on Medicare for All. Would you force the vote on an issue in Congress?
Of course. Of course.
That probably more than any other reason.
And this is the other thing. I'm willing to try all different things. I am of the thought, you throw enough shit against the wall, something's going to stick. We are not in a position right now, people, where we can really be picky and choosy. Okay. At this point, I'm open to any and all ideas on things that will help. And as somebody who is not an expert in economics or, housing or any of those particular things, I would rely on people that are really, really smart, that are on my mission as well. People like Mr. Grumbine, people that care about the things that I care about. And that would be the direction. And then you get guidance from your people in your district. It really shouldn't be that complicated. It's not rocket science. But no, I don't anticipate that I'm going to have a whole lot of friends. And I wouldn't claim that I would. But I think that the truth is, in the real world, outside of that building, and he will tell you, I get along with everyone. Everyone. From the right-wing Trumpers to the anarcho-communists. I get along with everyone. I mean, except for people that are assholes. And there are assholes within all of those categories. But you know what I'm saying. So I am someone who might be able to work with everybody in a place like that. Maybe that's sure. Maybe I'm not going to be Team Dem. Maybe I'm just Team Reason and Compassion. You know, maybe I'm just that.
One more time, make sure you get over to that QR code. Of course, it's going to be on every live stream going forward, because that's how it's going to help the campaign. And of course, any and all contributions that come in for the
All right.
national change.
That's mean. And guys, I am not ever going to talk about Debbie's physical. I don't, that's just, first of all, it's very misogynistic. It really is. It's just nasty. I'm not going to it's just nasty. It's not nice. Like the things that I criticize are character things, professional things that are done in the capacity of her as our employee. And when someone is our employee and they give themselves a raise and they get all these benefits and they make money on war and they get to do all this stuff, yeah, I'm going to call that out. But it's not personal. I will never make it personal with her. I will never say anything or do anything about her personally. That is just not how I roll. She might. I don't know what she'll do.
She'll have people do it. She ain't going to do it herself.
But then again, this is someone who this woman physically shoved one of my 16-year-old volunteers 4 times at the polls in 2020, to the point where my volunteer went and filed a police report. So I don't get physical. Like I always say this, like I don't get physical.
Is that Debbie, we were in Hollywood and this happened in Pembroke.
We rotate the polls throughohout the day.
If this had happened,
she wouldn't have done it though.
No, if this had happened and you saw it happen and Debbie didn't see you there, that would have been a bad.
It would have been a whole other situation. Well, the thing is that like she knew I wasn't. She waited, and I had been at that site, and then when I left, she started kind of picking on my volunteers, and I was livid. Like that is when these are my kids to me.
And the reason why Debbie shoved her was because Debbie was within earshot of one of our volunteers talking to voters about the fact that Debbie takes money from the fossil fuel industry, and she didn't like that.
So she came over and she shoved her over and stood in front.
And she said she's lying. She's lying. She's lying. No, she's not lying.
You guys, seriously, there was a police report was filed in Pembroke Pines. Like this, this is in public information. Yes. But the thought of it is like, what a bully. Like I would never do that. And guys, you know, like I don't ever put hands on people. Like I don't ever start. I am generally a very peaceful person, but I got to tell you, to me, like our volunteer kids, I felt like they were like my kids. We had a slew of volunteers ranging from like older high school all the way through like out of college, these kids. And this woman put her hands on one of my kids. Like that is a point where had I seen that, I think I would have ended up getting in a shit ton of trouble, because I really would have lost my shit. She wouldn't have done it with me anywhere in the vicinity. That's the truth. But and I swear to you, I do not want to think of her in a way like that. I don't want to feel like angry and personal. I really don't. I want to keep this like that. But help that woman from me if she puts her hands on one of my volunteers again. Yes, generally peaceful, but don't mess with me. I tell people, it's like I will never start, but I will finish. And the thing is that makes it really bad is as somebody who is not a sovereign nation, I don't have to worry about a proportionate response. I don't do proportionate response. That takes too much time. You hit me, I hit you, you hit me. No. You hit me, I'm going to lay you out. I don't have time we're not doing that.
Roger Meadows, you'd be more effective pushing citizen ballot amendments to ratify into Florida Constitution to get policies you want, satisfy local needs, first propel.
We do that too. We just got we were one of the hubs to get our reproductive freedom on the ballot.
Yeah, and
we do that too.
We were collecting petitions for months. We had a drop box and we were canvassing.
So I don't know if it would be more effective, but it is also effective. We do both of those things. But yeah, I am protective of my kids. That's what I'm saying. So if somebody out there in the world thinks that, we're having a campaign now that they're going to get up and get in with my volunteers and mess with my kids, I'm not having it.
I wouldn't have it either.
I will lose it. So,
It's nice
but
when the
yeah,
office gets all cleaned up, but of course.
I had to.
What's the sticker?
Under the parliamentarian.
Well, just remember,
So, yes.
this is still the most likely president, although Manchin has decided he doesn't really have the.
We need to go with the parliamentarian, guys, because apparently she's got all the power.
Remember
I don't even
anybody-
remember her name.
If you're still looking for that Lulu sticker.
Guys,
Um,
yeah, we have
We're
our
gonna need we're gonna
Patreon.
need a Jen. We're gonna need one of these with
Yeah.
Jen Perelman for Congress.
No,
Why not?
because it'll be Jen 2024.
Well, that's what I mean.
Right,
Yeah,
but
Jen
we need to keep the
2024.
last name. It's too long. It's
Jen
too unwieldy.
2024 Lulu
We'll come up.
sticker.
We'll have some good stickers. I love stickers. Guys know that. I even had special Lulu Halloween stickers.
Mhm.
But yeah, guys, it's hard because I don't want to make it personal. I don't want to be angry, Jen. I don't want to be that Jen. I want to be kind, loving, rainbows, unicorns, Jen.
And just
I do.
remember,
Here comes
and
sun.
the last thing before we go, there are going to be a lot of people, especially down here, that are going to be paid operatives.
Yes.
They are going to try to, they're going to try to needle Jen. I already know one of them. They're going to work relentlessly to paint her as as self-hating Jew, anti-Semite. They are going to say that she's terrible for this area and she's terrible for Democrats. She's a bad Democrat. She's a bad Democrat. So they're going to do that, and that's going to be a common theme. But just remember, this is a state that allowed Ron DeSantis to win re-election by 20 points, and then when he decided to go national, they decided to say, "Yeah, get the F out of here." So that's not a reflection of Ron DeSantis being super great and super popular. It's a reflection of how far the Florida Democratic Party has fallen. So if you can't see the writing on the wall that this party is dead
Our
in
state
so many
party
ways,
it's
and that it is time for generational change, it's time. It's time. And the head of the snake is our representative.
And the thing is this, like, they're going to say all that stuff and that stuff will circulate well within that finite group, and she'll raise a lot of money and she'll put out lots of flyers, and her PACs will be putting out nonstop stuff against me about how I'm anti-Zionist and how I support Hamas and all of these, which I don't, but that's how they'll twist the language, right? So they're going to be putting that shit out about me, but I think it's going to be trapped in a finite group.
And not only that, but the thing you also have to remember, and last time, right there, that QR code to donate to gen2024.org. Remember this, Jen does not have to raise even half the money that Debbie's going to raise. You just need to raise enough money to make sure that we have enough to compete. Now, the target number obviously is $1 million. Once you cross that threshold, it's just gravy, and I think we're going to have a chance to do that.
That honestly, it makes us, once we have that credibility, it is. Once we have that credibility, then we get endorsements. Osiris! Yay!
So yes. But just remember that these circumstances, they don't come along too often. And we hope that we're doing this at a time where people really feel they need this the most. And I think we do, because I know I need it. I can't look around at what's going on right now. And especially the fact that we have to still deal with her. But I will say this to everybody out there who has lost faith, that has lost hope.
Yeah.
If we get Debbie out, I think we can finally put 2016 to bed. And we need to. But she's got to go. This has been going on for way too long. There has to be consequences.
I mean, there's
for your
just so many
actions.
reasons. There's so many reasons. But more than anything, to me, and this is my congressional representative. So as a constituent, I just find it infuriating how she makes money off of our misery. And yet that's our employee. And more than anything, and this is something I encourage all of you to do this at some point. Hold your nose and do it. I know it's not going to be good for a minute, but
vote for Joe?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No. Go and watch any clips of the committees when she's having hearings and she's talking to people,
That's
whether
our top
it's
clip.
RFK or Matt Taibbi, right? And watch how Debbie speaks to people at these meetings, at these hearings. Because these are people that are there voluntarily, right? Like, this isn't a criminal trial. These are people that are there voluntarily, and that's our employee. Our congresswoman is sitting there and talking so nasty and condescending to anybody that I don't understand it. And I was a litigator. Like, I just don't understand the need to talk to people so unbelievably vile. And watch these committees just to get a sense of it, and then look how other people talk. And there's other turds other very beta men that feel the need to sit there and want to get into a fist fight with the guy from the union. You know, there's those. But when I watch her, it's just to watch the way she speaks to people, so rude and disrespectful. The way she spoke to RFK, just disgusting. People of District 25, this is not a good look for us.
No.
It's disgusting. She's vile. Like, I just, it's so unsettling. Like, I even said to Matt Taibbi, I'm like, so you were there voluntarily? He's like, yeah. And you still sat there when she spoke to you that way? Let me tell you something, people. There is no universe where I would sit voluntarily at a table and have somebody open up a mouth like that to me. No way. I find it despicable. And then that's somebody who sits there and worries about stupid shit like you don't have a soul if you don't sign my resolution that says 2 + 2 is 5. We can do so much better.
You cannot pick a more contrasting race at a time where it's so very necessary. And we hope you'll join us.
I do. And I feel that and I appreciate it so immensely because it's going to be ugly.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. You thought
And
it
I
was
have thick skin. I do.
You thought it was ugly in the past. If she has any inkling in her soul, if she has one, that she could lose.
Like if she gets really scared.
Like there's no telling what she might do. And I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying.
No, but she definitely,
because this is all she has.
lashes out. She'll lash out.
This is all she's got. This is her entire career. She studied to be a politician in college at UF. That's University of Florida, for those who don't know. She went right to work.
I'll answer it.
Went right to work and
answer it.
has been doing it ever since.
To be honest, I haven't read her platform. So just
but
to be
we do
totally
support
honest.
the 21st Century Economic Bill of
Oh,
Rights.
1,000%. And that is something that I also am running on. The 21st Century Economic Bill of Rights is imperative. My top 3. Thank you so much, Donald James. When you interrupt my train of thought
I'm
and
sorry.
you don't let me finish,
sorry,
then I
Patty.
forget.
I'm sorry, Patty.
Well, whatever. Now
Yes.
I forget. I already said, like, and I'm open to all things you guys say, like in terms of the key issues. And clearly, like, I will address all of them and what my thoughts are on them. But I really want to focus on healthcare, housing, and jobs, which are components of the 21st Century Economic Bill of Rights. So I'm all on with that. If you go to the channel, if you go to Generational Change and you look at our pinned video. Yes, it's that.
It's our interview. It's the biggest video we've ever had. It's got like 140,000 views. It's the video with Matt Taibbi.
Because he was on here right after.
He literally came on the day after he went in front
He came to us first.
Committee. And
Debbie, of small media people.
Yes. And Debbie, basically showed that there is no, and you're right, she will be unrelentingly evil. And she will release the dogs of war. There is no question she will.
I know.
And the reason she will is because she knows that she's got a viable opponent to take her out. And when that happens, especially somebody like her who has nothing going for her other than this, there's no telling what's going to happen. So brace. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a wild ride.
And all of you, you help by being out there in the social media universe and making it so that like the ratios are always in our favor. And that making sure when she puts out shit about me and her little sycophants are sitting there going, oh, yeah, that we have people coming on and having my back. That's how it works.
Oh, yeah, Donald, you're late to the game. Jen's running for Congress again. So there you go.
Jen 2024.
Make sure. I know I said it was the last time.
Yeah, guys.
Scan the
so
QR
for new
code.
people, we only have Act Blue right now. Within the next couple of weeks, we will have our full operation up and running with a website wherein you can donate not through Act Blue. That is very important to me. I understand people don't want to support the Democratic Party. I hear you. We will take checks. There's definitely some old school people that will want to send checks. That's fine. But in a couple of weeks, you will be able to donate through credit card when we have our operation up and running. So if that's your thing, do not feel forced to support through Act Blue. Okay, I hear you. Oh, we'll never tip them. But like, I feel you. I see you. We will have it out there shortly.
And remember, any help from anywhere. This is a 50 state.
Are you in Wyoming by chance?
I don't think Donald James is Wyoming.
I really need. Come on, Wyoming.
Yeah. God. So with that said,
if I get Wyoming, I'll go there first.
Okay.
I'll go. That'll be my first national park place.
I would love to go to Yellowstone one
Well,
day too.
there and Grand Teton. But point being, yes, in the primary against Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Smash that like button, share, subscribe, do all those things we ask you to do. Click the QR code. Make sure you sign up to volunteer with campaign at gen2024.org.
And you don't need to live here to volunteer.
Nope.
You can live anywhere and be part of the team. And monthly donors, I really feel like we're really a good team when they're
That's
monthly.
really what it's all about. If
I
everybody who
do.
comes on here is going to make a contribution.
Oh
just choose.
my God,
That's
I forget the dog.
You've
I
got
forgot
another
about the
sofa.
dog. No. We knew that. We've seen this dog. She's I forget. She told me what it was.
Arlene, you can say congratulations when it actually happens.
Oh yeah, don't congratulate
There's
me,
nothing to be
Arlene.
congratulating about
Arlene,
this.
I'm walking into the seventh circle of hell right now. Yeah, don't congratulate me.
Let me tell you, it is, and I'm not, and I'm only going to say this. I can tell you right now that Debbie knows about this
She already knows.
and is very concerned about it.
We already have sort of
100%.
So she already knows, and so the shit's going to start flying. It's just what it is.
And if that is the case,
Now,
we'll
in all,
serve welcomes.
and this is the truth, guys, and you know that Peter has always handled social media, and so he's the one who puts out the post. I don't see it because the people are just too mean.
Yeah,
And
they're-
I just don't need that
That's all.
shit in my headspace. It is just not, it is unnecessary. So if people want to reach me, if you get emails to the people, and we still
This really goes to show you what the odds are on this. Jen will be going on the letter hack on Monday, March 18th. So just be ready for that. Jill Stein is going to be a guest on the show very soon. We are going to have.
I'll be on the Leftist Mafia when?
But you will be on the Leftist Mafia with Mike Figueredo, Mike Bender, David Dole, Lance from the Serfs. That will be next Thursday.
Funny, we don't know his last name. He's just Lance from the Serfs.
That will be next Thursday, the 14th.
Yeah.
We will have CanCon, a very popular conservative streamer. It's going to be coming on with us on Monday afternoon.
And how well did I get along with said CanCon?
Very good.
Because I really, I'm. We like to use the term fluid now, right? Is that the new thing? People fluid. You know what I mean? Because it's really easy when you just don't judge them because you don't agree with them.
I have a feeling that Wisconsin is going to be one of our best states.
Well, we have some of our favorite. We have Harvey K, John Nichols. Some of our most favorite people are the cheeseheads.
Of course, we have, and even though she hasn't shown up tonight, but that's because she probably didn't know about the stream per se. But Double K, she's from Wisconsin. She's a union lady from Wisconsin as well. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of Wisconsin's
cool.
good. Yeah,
That, by the way, is a big part of my Lake Michigan circumnavigating tour. I really want to go to Door County, and it's part of my plan. So anybody in Wisconsin, seriously, people that I know from Wisconsin, I will come and visit you when I'm up there.
We appreciate you all. We love you all. We know that this has been quite a thrill ride. 500 people watching on
the fact that
right
that
now.
happened.
Yeah,
that's the omen right there.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
That is, I'm floored.
To everybody who's here, and I know I'm not going to have an opportunity to do this too much more. The Self-Care Maven, Chris Garrett, Pariah,
Yes,
Donald James, Arlen. Hopefully it's going to be a problem.
Well, I've sent him. I don't want to
Arlene
wish that on
Chambers.
anybody, but
Mario, Changing World, Wesley Powers, Henry Kajawa, Ghislaine Conspiracy Theory, our new favorite WASP, Dieter McBusiness, Jimmy Zimzam.
it is not Dieter McBusiness. It's Deter McBusiness. And the fact that you don't get that just blows my mind.
Jeter.
It is not Dieter. It's Deter.
Colanello,
for
Steve
the love of all that's
Grossman,
holy.
Randall Giovanetti, Huey
You can't help yourself. Like, whatever your name is, he's got to go with it
Megan
somehow.
Jimenez, XL Step. Who have I
You
not
said Chris.
missed?
You said, and I think Teresa was on here. And
Yes, and I'm going to roll, and
all of our
while we're
favorites.
scrolling, I'm going to
We
roll
love
our
you guys.
Patreons
No,
one more
seriously,
time.
this
We
makes me
appreciate
happy.
you.
And the fact that there's this many people,
And they stay.
it's like I feel somewhat like on the very first day that we're saying we're doing this, because the very first day we said we were doing this last time, it was just he and I sitting there.
Yeah, it's kind of really small.
We were a very small party.
Self-Care Maven, of course, Chris Garrett.
And you guys are
Will
awesome. And I
Alton.
honestly shout out to our status quo people,
Yes.
because Jordan's the bomb, man. Jordan's the bomb.
And we support
Jordan,
you. Real
and as I
independent
said,
media.
I am an extremely loyal
Big
person.
Dumb Animal, always Michael Cooper, Doug Grinbergs, Teresa. Thank you for becoming a member, Teresa. That really means a lot.
Oh, by the way, did I tell you that Jordan super chatted himself when I was
Yeah,
on
I
his
saw
show?
that actually. Jen, you're running as a Dem. Damn you! Now I hate you.
Jordan, I was
Sandra
on Status
Rooney,
Quo with Ron before
Red
we.
Cloud,
Jordan donated a
Jesus.
super chat while I was on there to his own channel.
Yes.
I just thought it was funny.
Robert Pookie Roy,
Pookie?
Nashoba Chomak Shuti.
See, it's not that
Azimuth?
these names are real names.
Yes. Automaton.
That's not real.
I didn't say it was.
Okay.
I wouldn't have thought it was. And if it is, I feel bad. Angie Ma, Ethan Markin. And thank you for that $1, Ethan. Remember, every contribution counts.
Honestly,
Every.
and in all seriousness,
And
and
also,
I
I was
know-
to say it's like 500 people donated, 1,000 people.
well, right, not only that, but, and I mean this seriously,
Yeah.
the thought counts more than you will ever know. And as somebody who is, like I said, entering the seventh circle of hell, knowing that somebody wants to contribute is like,
Lisette Clark,
it's the coolest thing.
CO, Edwin Hauge or Hugh?
Let me see.
Hauge?
I would say more like hog.
Hog. Okay.
Hog, hey,
Jessica
hog.
Jessica Maiorano. I remembered you're Italian.
My.
My.
That's how I'm going to say it.
Well,
My.
Well, my. JT Drum Shot.
Don't
Yes,
mind
of
us as
course,
we
I'm
all
just
sit
sleeping
here
on
and
that.
make fun of
Would
everybody's names.
absolutely be that. So smart, so stupid. Even though I don't think you're stupid. Holly Horn.
Big dumb animal.
I did say the
Okay.
dumb animal. Let's see if there's anybody else that I have not. The Center
I
Podcast.
just hate that he's so self-deprecating. Why are you so
Karen
self-deprecating, big
Bowley,
dumb animal?
Felix Rios, Ray J, of course. I think
Deter.
that Xander Hicks, Andre Stackhouse.
Xander with a Z, not an
Yes.
X. Well,
We went on a lot longer than we thought we would.
I'm excited. Well, look, it's hard to walk away now. Like, we've never had anything like this. Who are we? Do dissidents?
Not them.
We're not in that league.
Not yet. We're
But-
coming for you, Keegan Russell.
But you know what? This is really, it's a labor of love.
It is.
It really is. I honestly,
Ray Infinity,
it's just,
of course, it was great to have you stop by. We didn't see Metal, we didn't see Thunderjock. Our conservatives are out there. I wonder if they'll still support you now that you really are in the game.
yeah, they will.
We'll see.
I
And
think
of course,
they will.
David Watson. Thank you guys all very, very
Because
much.
they also, there's people that, even if it's just a matter of them being not liking her,
I would say
they're
that's
it's unfortunate that is how some support like that doesn't. I don't necessarily like it that way. Like, I'd rather it not be, oh, I hate her, so I'll vote for you. Like, I understand, we'll take that, but it would be better in my mind if we lived in a world where that wasn't how we had to be forced to think about candidates.
And here, and we'll leave on this note and think about just what this campaign is all about. There's nothing wrong with due dissidence. That's not what we're saying.
No, I was just saying, because we have the most viewers right now that we've ever had in a live. And I was just, because they're doing so well. I'm like, who are we? Due dissidents? Like, we're getting up there. That's all. That's what I was saying. Nothing. I love Keaton and Russell. They're friends.
When somebody can say, I'm a vet and a big fan of RFK, and I love that you're running.
And
then
you know that he needs to get right on Israel.
And then you have somebody say, I'm going to put you in a few Marianne Williamson Facebook groups. It shows you that the swing is wide. Like, it's wide. And we have people that support Trump that are on here. Hell, we probably have people that are going to ultimately support Joe. And at the end of the day, you need everybody.
It is.
Because it's not going to take a village. It's not going to take a city. It's going to take a country
It's
to
really
get
a
this
thing.
woman out. Because she has held the reins of power for over 3 decades, not just at the federal level, but at the state
Yeah.
level and the local level.
Just
This
always.
has been the
It's a
ultimate.
dynasty.
Yeah, this is. If anybody wanted to know what my actual vision, and this is nothing about Debbie's physical appearance, I swear to you it's not. But if you really want to know what the physical manifestation of Debbie Wasserman Schultz is, she is the equivalent of the 1980s entertainment system. The second you look behind that television and see 50 wires crossed together in knots and ties, and you're like, there's no way that I'm ever going to
So then what am I?
this.
I'm a nice
Oh,
flat
you're
screen.
you're a new flat
I'm a
screen,
flat screen.
and a smartphone and a smart
I am
TV.
not flat
You're
anymore.
a smart TV.
You want to hear something funny? So, because guys, this is really, really ridiculous. But when I was little, I ended up not doing kindergarten and going right into first grade. And as a result,
Aren't you a smart ass?
No, not
Oh,
really.
yes.
But I'm saying it only because I was a year younger than everyone else. And as a result, I didn't get boobs when other girls got boobs. And the boys were very mean. And one of the things that they did, and this is mean, is I would find, they used to have these flyers from AAA that says, we do more than fix flats. And yes, and I would find those flyers.
That's such an 80s thing.
I know. In my notebooks, in my locker, and I know which boys were doing it, and I know that they weren't being whatever. But the point is,
I don't know if
the
you have
point
one.
is, I don't even have a point. The point is that
Yeah, click the QR code. That's your point. The point is, feel bad for Jen and get over to that QR code. And
I
give
was
her
made
money.
fun of. Not really. No, I
No,
mean,
I
that was real.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not feeling very victimized by it. But I'm saying it's, it was a thing.
And on that note, we appreciate you all. Smash that like button, share, subscribe if you haven't already, click the bell, do all those things that we ask you to do.
Interestingly, she's only 5 years older than me.
That is hard to believe.
She's 5 years older than me.
We'll see you tomorrow at 12:30. You all have a great night.